Welcome to Winging It. We are looking at deck building in Arkham Horror the card game today. This is Mandy and Tony in my Dream Eaters campaign. They're in the Waking side of this campaign, going into 1,000 Shapes of Horror. So they have 11 XP to spend. We're looking at Mandy's Survivory 40 card deck, which is a lot to manage, and they each have 11 XP going into this. So I think the most obvious upgrade for her is to spend 1 XP to get these Myriad cards. There's 3 of them, Segment of Onyx. You get all 3 for 1 XP. You put them out for fast. When you symbol them all, you get a Pendant of the Queen. Which takes up the accessory slot. It allows you to, for a fresh trigger, you can evade an enemy at any location. You can discover a clue at any location, or you can move to that location as a free trigger. So, pretty powerful stuff. Big fan of that card. It's kind of made for Mandy. So we'll be taking out Fine Clothes, since we don't really need it anymore, and putting in our 3 Segment of the Onyx. Well, we actually have to pick 2 other cards to get rid of for that. So we will go ahead and take out Hiding Spot. I kind of had it there because of all the swarm enemies in the first scenario, and meaning to potentially need to sneak by. It didn't become relevant, but it was something that I thought I might need. And then we're going to go ahead and get rid of one of our Truth from Fictions here. Okay, because I don't really feel like that card. I just don't think I'm going to slow down enough to put secrets. I was thinking I'd put them on Mr. Rook, but it just doesn't seem realistic that I'm going to slow down enough to play that card. The 2 elect icons are nice, but I think it's not going to be that critical. So okay, so that's one of her 11 XP. We are going to spend another 3 XP on one of my favorite cards. If you've seen this channel before, you know I like to take Studious. I like to take 2 Studious. I'm not taking both now because of some other cards that I want to take, but that's 3 XP. It's a permanent. Lets her draw. Start with an extra card in her opening hand. We're going to spend another 3 on Charisma. I don't necessarily take Charisma as much as some other people do, I think. But I really like it in Mandy with calling in favors. You can put 2 allies in at a discount cost. It means you can have Rook out while you're putting out art students or Randolph or laboratory assistants, or whatever. So that gives us 4 XP more to spend. This card just came out. It's really great. Sharp Vision. It's a skill. If you are going to get 3 icons when you put it in a normal investigate test, and if you succeed by 2 or more, you get 2 clues. So it's like a kind of a fancy deduction. I don't know, somewhere in between deduction level 1 and level 2, or level 0 and level 2. So I'm going to take out 2 Winging It's and to replace it with that. Seems like a natural kind of upgrade place for that. And a classic oldie but a goodie is we're going to spend our last 2 XP on 2 Pathfinders. Just gives her that movement. She can be where she needs to be. Extra actions. And we're going to take out our last Truth from Fiction and the Occult Lexicon. I don't think we're going to need the Occult Lexicon. I just think it's competing for hand slots that are she just wants to have Hawkeye folding cameras in there. I think Tony's going to be able to handle the fighting enough. And, if we need to, we still got, I've got a plan which she can, go for. So, I just really didn't feel like I'm not going to take the time to put down the Occult Lexicon. And maybe it wasn't really a good idea to put it in this deck anyway. So, there we are with Mandy's upgrades. Let's go take a look at Tony. Our far less crowded deck here with his paltry 30 cards that he has to play. We have 11 XP to spend for Tony. So I think the most important upgrade, although I had such a painful time getting out weapons, despite there being 5 weapons in this deck, we are going to get out one of my favorite cards, and Tony makes it even better, is the level 2 Switchblade. So it just it's like the right level 0 Switchblade, but it gets plus 2 fight, which gets him fighting at a 7. And if you succeed by 2 or more, you get extra damage. So he should be able to do that. So we're going to replace our existing Switchblade and one of our Derringers, because it's basically a straight-up upgrade to the Derringer. So we will do that. And that is, because we're playing Taboo, that's 6 XP instead of 4 XP. So another card that I like to combo with the Switchblade is Reliable. which if you stick it on Switchblade, it's going to make it give it +3 combat every time you swing, and it's fast. You can stick it on there. This has him swinging really high and getting reliable damage. Really been a fan of this. So we have to take out 2 Guardian cards to put in these 2 Guardian, because he has a max of 10 Guardian cards. So we're going to take out a Scene of the Crime and an Evidence. Which, we are getting rid of some of our clue tech here, but it's kind of the nature of the beast when it has, we got Mandy should be able to shore up and get lots of clues. So I was going to take out Dynamite Blast, but Dynamite Blast can be really good in Thousand Shapes of Horror if you have a bunch of ghouls spawning at the bottom of the map and kind of pooling there. So that leaves us with 3 XP to spend. We are going to spend 2 of those on 2 momentum cards. So this is one of the skills that came out recently. And it gives you a boost to 1 because of the icon. But if it's successful, then however much you succeed by up to a maximum of 3, you get it on your next test. So you can be very successful and then keep on being successful. The next test, it can kind of let you boost for 2 tests for the price of 1. So that's a good card. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna drop Followed for this and Contraband. So Contraband isn't gonna be that useful without the firearms. You can put it on his long Colts, of course, but it's really between removing the Contraband and the Sleight of Hand. And the Sleight of Hand it's a little bit cheaper and will still allow me to reuse ammo on the long Colts. So maybe not as much, but I think it's just an easier place to use the Sleight of Hand on that. So, and of course you could also use it on the Derringer if we need to. So taking out the Contraband, and then like I said, the Followed. Yeah, I mean it's just I don't know. It's hard to find a good place to use it. And I wanted to see if it would work. I don't know that I really had an opportunity to play it anyway, but it just doesn't seem like it's really... it asks a lot in order to get what you want. So anyway, that's what we're taking out for the 2 momentum. We have 1 XP left, and I think that's a fairly easy spend on Easy Mark, which is another mirrored card, so I get 3 of them for 1 XP. It gives you 2 resources and draw 1 card, so it's kind of equivalent to like a emergency cash, except you trade out 1 of your resources for a card, and you can argue about action economy, blah 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 blah, whether or not that's worth it. But I think Tony prefers cards over resources. He's generally, I've never found him to be too strapped for resources. So definitely want the card draw and, just to pick up his other cards. And then plus it's got this fast trigger that if you have another one, you can, you can play it for a free trigger, and get 2 of these down, and then you've got some saving of action. So anyway, obviously it's very clear to take out 2 emergency caches, and we got to drop 1 more card, which will be our other Contraband to get our Easy Marks in there. So but here we are with Tony. I feel like this is a good place for him. This is it's a little bit of a struggle with the level 0 Switchblade, and actually I've heard people saying that they just take the Kukri instead at level 0, and I think there's like a lot of merit to that. I hadn't thought about that because with his extra actions, just some consistent damage with the Kukri makes some sense. But anyway, I did not do that. I took the Switchblade, and it was fine. I got it out. I got to use it against a Grey Weaver. Was kind of not the ideal weapon, but it worked out. Anyway, I'm super happy to have Reliable and Switchblade, and if we get some XP and we do well in this scenario, hopefully we can start getting some flashier things. But anyway, let's go ahead and do 1,000 Shapes of Horror with Mandy and Tony.